Hey everybody, this is Hawk2zer0, and today we kind of wanted to make a little informational video about kind of how the tournament's going to be going from here, and a few of the more important bits that we need to kind of discuss real quickly. I do have Armadawn with me here.
Hi.
So Arma handled the scoring system and also helped with a lot of the EX contracts in terms of the design, as well as pretty much the perks behind them, or the
Yeah, we were
contracts
working on a lot.
themselves. Yeah, 24, definitely a pretty big one there.
Yeah.
So, we do have a unique scoring system. Arma, do you want to go ahead and talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So the scoring system is just something that I've been working on since Pyrite. I've gathered a whole bunch of data sets from CC2PL as well. So that's basically just risk versus what the player level was. And it actually helped to figure out what a player should be kind of quote unquote be clearing in terms of their level to risk.
So like an expected risk.
Yeah, exactly. So like a lower level player, will actually have a chance of scoring a decent amount too that way. So it kind of evens out the playing field.
We do want to mention, even though we do have like a unique scoring system and everything, this is still kind of a bit of a casual tournament. We're not like, competing for like a trophy or anything. It's more of just like a fun little internal tournament that we're doing. It's kind of like what you guys did with Pyrite last time. It was just kind of more of a for fun run, right?
Mm-hmm. Last time it was team based, so we kind of just split up the group into two and use the scoring system.
Yeah, we're doing the solo ones this time, so let's see how that goes. I think it'll be a pretty good one.
Oh yeah, I don't see why I wouldn't.
So in terms of covering the tournament here, the main things I wanted to focus on are kind of like how we're going to proceed with each day. So obviously the first map of our daily rotations has already come and gone. So later tonight you should have a video that'll come out that'll kind of show all the players and their particular runs, as well as the risks they took for that particular run. And that's pretty much how it's going to work for each day forward. So like today's the second day of technically third. CC's weird.
It's day 2. It'll be considered as day 2.
It's the second daily map. So the way that we have it set up is when the third daily map comes up, we'll have the video out for the second one, and when the fourth one comes out, the third one will be out. So it's kind of like a 1 day delay, just to give all the players the time to play through the map, keep trying to find a better way to get their higher risks, and then it leaves us a little bit of time to then go and put it all together and get it ready for you guys to kind of view. But I think it'll be a pretty fun. I think the videos will be pretty cool. It's going to be 11 players, pretty much seeing how 11 players are playing the same thing, just very differently, or almost similarly. Depends on, I guess, the meta at that point, if there is one.
Well, that was the whole point of the EX contracts too, is to kind of shift around to the meta itself.
I think actually it would be a good time to kind of go into the EX contracts then. So, we have 24 of them in total. We'll be revealing one of them towards the end. We're not going to talk about it too much right now, but we'll talk about the main 23 that you'll be seeing throughout the week. And I think the general rule for us is we've picked 3 per day. I think we may have 1 or 2 that just have 2.
No, we have 3 set up at least on every day.
Oh, I don't need to, okay. I wasn't. I wanted to make sure about that. So, all right, we have 3 per each day. And would you say the main design is just like literally mostly to challenge against the meta that exists for each of the maps for the most part?
Yeah, I mean, just because of the fact that we are getting this well after Cian has already played it and figured things out. At least this will give us a chance to shake things up, try out new playstyles and things. So yeah.
Yeah. I think it was also relatively fun to make them too, because we've got some of them were built around that, trying to cancel. I wouldn't say cancel, but kind of challenge or trump the existing meta for each of the maps. But at the same time, a lot of the contract perks or traits kind of stemmed from also like how some of the operators are designed as well. and or like how people play for certain operators. Like I think break time. Yeah, break time. Break time was kind of like, it's pretty much what people do with Silver Ash. They use his swing and then pop he's out, and just so the timer gives the restart, right?
Yep.
So, all right. Anyway, let's go ahead and kind of break each one of them down. We'll kind of talk briefly about each of them. I don't think there's too much we need to really explain. Okay, well, there may be a few. I know some of them could be a little bit situational, so we might have to look at things from if a situation comes up from one of the players, and because I think we've already had the question about the robots.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and just dive in here. So the first one I'll go ahead and talk about is high value target. That one was simply just targeting the 3 most popular 6 stars.
Yeah, they're basically the 3 meta characters. So that's Silver Ash, Aphila, and Saria. Those were the ones we wanted to kind of target, and yeah, because they're really good, and they're basically used on almost every map.
And they're very, very strong characters in general, so it makes sense that they would be the ones we would cancel for sure. Let's see here. Faction loyalty. It's kind of an interesting one, I would say. The main gimmick behind that one is basically just 3 operators in your party have to be from a same faction. So in this case, you could have 3 Rhinelab people. You could have 3 from Penguin Logistics. Pretty much just in whatever faction you choose, there needs to be 3 people from it to get the that particular risk. I think it feels a little bit like a freebie, but honestly, it could be pretty. I could see some pretty fun applications for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 slots though that you're still kind of dedicating to a certain style. We're not really rewarding too much risk from this. Actually, we're just giving out 1 by the looks of it here.
I think we have we actually should probably mention this real quick. We do have a few that normally have a specific risk assigned for them, but for a given day, we decided to either bump it up a little bit because it just was it was a little too brutal to.
Yeah, on some of the days they can be a little too much. Yeah.
Yeah. So we took a lot of info from how a lot of other players completed these particular maps and these challenges, and just kind of like try to balance it where we could. We wanted to make sure it's they're challenging, but they're not like infuriating to do. So I say that, and the next one on the list is hardcore mode.
Yeah. It's kind of in the name.
Yep. So for those that are seeing this now in the video, it is once an operator has been knocked out, as in their HP reaches 0, or they've been retreated for whatever reason. I guess AFK. Well, AFK. No, not AFK. Sorry. Break time. If break time was a particular situation here, but we'll talk about that one later. Basically, if they've been knocked out or retreated, they can't be redeployed again for the rest of the operation. It's pretty much it's almost kind of like a permadeath situation.
Yeah. And specialist fast redeploys, yikes! I know. As much as I like them, yeah, this one hurts.
Yeah, I can definitely hear a lot of people being a little bit sad about that for sure. I do like a few of my own fast redeploys too, so that is kind of sad. But I think there are we got 2 really, really painful ones too. The next one is the 6-star ban. This is one of those that's kind of, title says all. I don't think we really need to explain it too much.
I don't think we need to say much. Same goes for the next one right after, which is the 5-star ban. Yep.
Yeah.
It's in the name.
I think I do find it interesting how like the 6-star ban has its own weight, because like 6 stars in general are just most of them are really, really, really good. Some have been a little bit power crept over the few months that the game's been out, but for the most part, they're all still really solid operators. The 5-star ban, though, it may not.
That one was more surprising.
Yeah, it may not at first seem like it's that particularly bad, until you really start to realize like how much you rely on 5 stars. I mean, one of the best medics in the game is basically banned with this one.
Yeah, like a lot of the good utility is actually hidden inside of the whole entire 5-star selection there. So
It does kind of make you really think about like how nice 5 stars actually are. Like 6 stars are the nice and shiny units, but you kind of got the what do they call it, the backbone there from the 5 stars as well. So this one, the next one here, has received quite a handful of laughs. A lot of people were kind of cracking up on this one, and that is the printer broke. This one is pretty much what, just Myrtle and Elysium are not allowed.
Just the DP printers. It's them.
Jeez, without those two, it's kind of a painful one for sure.
Well, it makes me go back to the time of when we didn't even have Myrtle.
But yeah, that is a painful one. But another really, really painful one is actually this one, medical license suspension.
Ooh, yeah, this one hits a lot of
So, this one to, as our description says here, that operators that can heal other operators cannot be in your party. So, most people are going to immediately think, oh, okay, so this means absolutely no medics. That's not all of it. You've got you got all of the healing defenders. So Gummy's out, Saria's out, Neural's out, and I'm missing one. What's the 3-star? Spot. Actually, Hung. I forgot Hung too. We don't want to talk about that one though.
Oh no, we're gonna have to in a bit.
Oh yeah, he'll get his time in the spotlight soon. But this also includes Angie. I'm probably missing a handful. Oh yeah, Suzerain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Angie, Suzerain, probably drawing a blank on a few others, but there's a good number of operators that may have a trait or a talent that, or even a skill that also gives some sort of healing. So because it's going to heal other players or other operators as well, medical license suspension also is going to say, hey, you can't have them. So it's pretty much you're on your own.
Now, you're allowed to have operators that heal themselves, so
Yes.
Utage, Helger, they're completely fine, just as long as they're not applying their healing effect to someone else.
I think Matterhorn and Cardigan are 2 others?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was pretty sure there's... Is there another duelist? I could have sworn we have another one.
Another duelist?
Yeah.
Oh, we do, but I'm forgetting. I'm forgetting right now.
I think it's a... Yeah, but that's pretty much the general summary of what medical license suspension is it's pretty much operators that can heal others aren't allowed, so that can be anything from a medic to the healing defenders to maybe a supporter that might have some kind of a healing ability. All of them are out, but anyone that can self-heal is okay to be in the game. So
well, that being said, like if they have a skill that allows them to heal, just you don't choose them. You choose the other skill that doesn't enable that.
Yeah,
and
that's
then you're fine. And then you're fine.
If it's skill based, yeah. If it's like Angie, where it's kind of a passive part-time job, that no. I mean, I guess you could use her. She's not E2.
You can't. Yeah. I guess that would be the one instance where a non-E2 Angelina would be a good.
Yeah, you have to rely on that skill too. Or skill 1, depending on which one you use. So, actually, now that I think about it, Vulcan gets a little bit of a nice advantage there. Good, she's a decent defender, but she can take care of herself.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of nice, actually. So, anyway, the next contracts we have, these two particularly will conflict with each other just because of the way that they're designed, and that is Lone Wolf 1 and Lone Wolf 2. Now, the base form, Lone Wolf 1, is that operators can't be next to each other, or in terms of the adjacent 4 tiles. So if you put down an operator somewhere on the map, the cardinal directions, northeast, south, and west, an operator cannot be next to them there. They can be on the corners, so northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. That's perfectly fine. But Lone Wolf 2 is where no operators can be around each other. It has to be a complete... and I wouldn't say full isolation, but they're kind of like islands, I guess.
Yeah, islands that would work too.
Yeah.
Just think of they're completely surrounded by this area of you can't deploy.
Yeah. They bring they bring 8 plates with them that they put down on the ground saying, no, you can't step here. All right. On to the next one here. This one actually is currently on for day 2. This is Husbando Party.
Oh boy.
We actually have just enough operators to actually probably pull this one off. It's actually kind of surprising. Like, I didn't think we had that many at first, but there's actually a good handful of male operators that you can use for sure. Especially now with Thorns in play.
Yeah, Thorns being out is a
it's a blessing in
he makes
disguise.
it different for this one.
Yeah, and we did have a question about this one when it came to robots, so we just decided to say just gender neutral, so they can be in.
Yeah, the robots are fine.
Yeah,
they're all good.
So, but of course now we have to talk about your favorite one, Yodana. Arma really does not like Hunk that much, and to be fair, no one really does. I like healing defenders. For those of you who have been around with me for the longest time, you know Neural and Saria are my two go-tos when it comes to defenders. And then when Hung came out, I even looked at it just like, oh no. But we've made this kind of into its own meme now that I think about it. But yeah, basically Yodana is Hung must be in the party and must be deployed at least once. I suppose if you really wanted to, you can put him down, then retreat him. But if it's used on a day where he may be needed, well, okay, yeah, if he's gonna be.
I'm not proud of this one, but hey, you know, everyone's gotta suffer at some point.
Speaking of suffering, for sure, the next one here, Brute Force. Oh.
Yeah, Brute Force is definitely. That took us a while to figure out how we're going to actually apply this one.
Because we were actually just saying it has to. There's no buffing or debuffing at all. I think we actually removed half of that. So.
Yeah, because it hits far too many operators.
But yeah, for those of you that kind of are just listening in and not really looking too much here, Brute Force is no operators that debuff, stun, silence, or slow enemies can be in your party. So debuffing could be anything from attack down, attack speed down, defense down, any of that kind of thing. So like Meteorite gets her S2 completely taken out. Moose with her S1 loses. She loses the ability to use that. Stunning, I think everyone knows pretty well. Red does a very good job at that. Silence. I think our key example. Yeah, our key example is Lapland. And then,
Joey actually has it on her skill 3 as well.
Yes, that is true. Yeah. Well, I'll get to that in a second. And then the last one is slow, so that could be what, Angie, Suzerain, Saria.
Whole bunch.
It hits a lot more people than we actually realized at first, which is why we kind of had to take a second look at it. But what I will say is, if a character has one of the operators has a skill that does any of those, if they have one that doesn't, so I think what Kyobe second skill, Really Hot Knives, doesn't have any type of thing like that. It's just a straight up DPS.
Yep.
That one is fine to use. So it's not that the operator is banned. If they have like a talent or a trait that causes it, then yeah, I guess they are banned. But if it's skills that are doing it, if they have one that doesn't do any of these, then it's fine to use them with that skill. So you can still use Saria for healing.
Bind is also one of them too.
Yes, Bind is another one of those. Yeah, so S1 and S3 for her are out on that one. I guess it's not too bad. S2 is a really solid one too. She's got 3 really good skills, so I don't think it's gonna hurt her too badly. So, all right. Up next is no auxiliary support. This is an interesting one. Command terminals and stun generators cannot be activated. So this hits Transport Hub and Pyrite Gorge. I think those are the only 2 that have those particular type of items in there. I don't think there's anyone else that has anything like that.
Yeah, we kind of worked on the wording of this, like maybe map-based skills or something, but it was just easy for us to keep it as command terminals and just stun generators.
Yeah, but I think this will be a pretty interesting one. I mean, it's probably not technically a bad thing for Pirate if you've got good control. Because, I mean, you don't have to worry about using them, unlike a certain other contract. Which actually, oh, it's coming up. I got one more in between it, though. So, Yeah, I think this will be a pretty interesting one to see players use for sure. But next up is actually another one for today. It is AFK mode. Manual skills cannot be activated, and to put it another way, operators that have manual skills basically have to use their autos. If they're all manual, so like our DP printers, nope. Can't use Myrtle. Easy. This is basically like a harder version of Printer Broke now that I think about it.
Except it hits a lot more stuff.
Yeah, it hits a lot more people for sure. But yeah, this is pretty much, just go full out auto. I actually did have somebody bring up that it's perfectly fine if you just want to use the operator for the operator. You don't necessarily need these, if they only have manual skills. There was somebody that did bring them in, but they didn't use the manual skill.
Use them, but just don't use the skill. Yeah. That's all it is. That's all this contract is.
I wonder which operator you can get away with that on. Now that I think about it.
Probably. I know Thorns is definitely one of them now.
Yeah.
Because like his skill 3 is an activation for some reason.
Yeah, that could definitely be pretty good. I mean, I guess passives also are pretty nice to have too. So any characters with passives are actually going to be perfectly fine there. So, all right, and the one that I mentioned earlier, we had a really interesting one here. W's prank. You want to talk about this one a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be Pirate Gorge exclusive because this is all about the sun generators. So if Crown Slayer gets within the 8 tiles, like just any of the surrounding tiles of the sun generator, you gotta detonate it. You gotta detonate the sun generator.
I still like the name though. It's just like you can just imagine Crown Slayer's like, why are you doing this to me? And you just see
it's
W.
Just a prank.
You just see W with like, you know how she does that little animation for the claymore.
Oh yeah.
The widest grin on her face while she's doing that pose. So, but yeah, I thought this is actually gonna be an interesting one to see too. There's a whole lot of these that I kind of do want to see how people are gonna react with them. So, this one definitely is gonna. The next one here is gonna be really, really funny to watch. By my hands. Everyone loves. Well, actually, I don't know necessarily if they love to watch it, but everyone gets to see it at the beginning of. What's it called? Shattered Avenue or Broken Path? I think either of them technically worth, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So at the beginning of that particular one, there is a lovely little jetpack soldier that is standing on the fire tiles for some reason. I never really understood why he did that.
He's there to teach new players, what the effects of the tile is.
I guess that's a good point because they did that in Third Annihilation.
Yep.
Yeah, with the pit in the bottom area. So
that, and also I'm pretty sure that they've been having a fun time adding him in as a joke.
Kevin must be in the operation somehow.
But either way, this contract, it's all about just making sure that you're the one who finishes him instead of the tile does.
Yeah. So basically, when you load into that particular map, Kevin will be the one jetpack trooper that is sitting on those fire tiles. Your job with this particular contract is to eliminate him before the fire tiles do. It is doable because people have actually rescued him. Of course, it's funny because they just push him in, and that ends the operation right then and there.
Yeah, no, you gotta clear the mission. You can't just call it quits there.
You can't just bring him in for interrogation. Oh man. But speaking of letting things score, Crab Ray.
Yeah, we just did this one.
We just did this one for day 1. This one is just let a metal crab score. There's only 2 maps with this, right? That's the Desolate Desert and the one we did yesterday, Frost-Covered Ruins.
Yep.
So, basically, just let them walk right in. Well, you gotta retreat someone, do it. You want to yeet them over an operator, that's perfectly fine too, if you can manage to pull that off. We had somebody that actually did. So, but that is pretty much what that one is. Very, very simple. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a freebie. It does come with its own side effect. Once you really, really start to realize why, especially in Frost Cover.
Yeah. It's a very specific playstyle
Mm-hmm.
because you kind of drop an operator there and you just forget for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much now.
Well, but then there's the other side effect of we had a few runs actually just let one of the leaders through.
For Frost Cover Ruins, it was designed so that at least one of the leaders are able to actually just get through and score, since a lot of times it is hard to kill them.
Yeah, especially when you give them the health up on top of their own contracts. It could be quite a nasty combo to deal with that much health. Oh boy, that is quite the grind for sure.
So it was an interesting way to make use of the whole HP seal 2 and just reduce it back down to 1.
Pretty much, yeah. So, let's see. I'm up to the next ones now. We have Rollout, which is Lancet 2, Castle 3, and I generally just say Thermal EX. I know it's not that because he's got the 4 letters instead of the full written out Thermal.
He says it's fine.
Yeah. Basically, all 3 of the 1-star robots have to be in your party and deployed at least once. I don't see that being too much of a real struggle. I guess, yeah, you do lose the 3 spots in your party.
3 spots makes a difference, but I'm more so interested in seeing them actually being used.
I kind of want to. I can't wait to see like people actually putting the robots on sport. It may happen. It'd be really funny to see that though.
Yeah, max pot thermal EX. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. God, that's gonna be a massive explosion there for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, that's gonna be funny to see. Speaking of things that are also really funny, this one, God, the name for this one is so great. Go Drunk, You're Home. That's the one it is. Okay. I had to like triple check it there because I've got it written wrong on the script, so that happens. But yeah, this one is so, like, the name is perfect for it. God, I would imagine someone trying to write out, like, the lore-friendly reason this one exists.
Oh, I don't go home.
I feel like it's just gonna somehow end up always being something to do with Rhine Lab. But yeah, basically, this one is very similar to Crab Rave. Instead of it being a metal crab, though, it is one of the, alcohol drinking, hammer swinging fanatics. Those guys. I love those guys. They have some of the funniest animations when you actually like sit there and watch them for a bit. But yeah, it's a pretty straightforward one again as well. This one is specifically, I think it's just Transport Hub. I don't think there's any fanatics elsewhere.
It's only Transport Hub. Now, we are rewarding a little bit more for it because you do have to deselect the 1 HP seal.
Right, yeah. So yeah, we do have the occasional.
That.
Yeah, we do have the occasional contracts that will kind of make it difficult to work with. So like this one, letting someone through when you only have 1 HP. I think what's something called Last Line Defense, I think is what that one's called normally in the base game. Like you can't obviously do that with Last Line Defense, so we do kind of offset it to give people the luxury of being able to use that contract and not have to worry about, well, I can't really do this with only 1 seal. So, but yeah, this should be another fun one. I definitely think it's going to be, the name itself is just hilarious. So, alright, and on to the last one of the normal ones. I say normal because we'll get into that. We'll get into the other 2 here later. Break Time. Break Time is a little bit interesting, I think. It's basically once an operator has activated their skill, they must be retreated once the skill is over. There is only one exception for this group, and that is the infinite duration skill operators. So what? Blaze, Platinum. I'm sure there's plenty more. Passives, I think passives are going to be in the same group as in what is it? Infinite duration. I think that's probably the fair way to look at that.
Yeah, those ones are fine. You don't have to retreat onto those.
Unless, there we go. Well, okay, at the end of activating a manual skill, it will be retreated at the end of the duration. Hey everybody, this is Editor Me. I just wanted to quickly mention that we did miss one by complete accident here, so I'm going to go ahead and cover that one real quick. So the final one of our standard skills is called I Don't Need Your Handouts. This one is specifically targeted towards East Armory. As you guys know, there are signal jammers, or I guess drone jammers, whichever one you would prefer to call them, that prevent drones from doing a whole bunch of things and just overall cripple them. But this particular contract means that you can no longer use those items at all in your run. It is definitely a bit of a tough one, to say the least. So I can definitely see people struggling a bit with this one, but nonetheless, I think it is going to be a rather interesting challenge for people to overcome. Anyway, back to the recording. So, alright. That handles the standard normal contracts. The last two that I mentioned here are a little bit different. They're only different really in the sense that they're not for a specific day. They're kind of these ongoing ones that you can use as many times as you want every day, and you can use. They're pretty much just active the entire time. You're more than welcome to try for them. And the first one, I think, let's go for the easier one of the two, which is Ain't No Rest for the Wicked.
I wouldn't really call this easy, but
well, I mean, compared to the other one. I think this is the easier one of the two.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But basically, Ain't No Rest for the Wicked is that a doctor cannot pause, and they are always at ×2 speed, and they can't spend more than 2 seconds in bullet time. Do you want to kind of elaborate the can't spend more than 2 seconds in bullet time part?
Yeah, I mean, like in one session, like one little instance, bullet time would be when you have the operator selected, like from the bottom bar, or when you select, like when you actually select one of your operators on the map.
Mm-hmm.
That will put your game into bullet time. So you can't spend more than 2 seconds doing that.
Yeah. Basically, it's to try to prevent the you have to be able to think on your feet. You can't take a second, pause, hit the pause button and hope, look through everything and figure out what your options are. You don't get that. So that is kind of the twist to Ain't No Rest for the Wicked. Now the other one, this one's just inspired off of. You guys have probably seen these videos before. I'm assuming most people here have probably at least seen some form of it by some of the YouTubers that are very well known for these. It is called The One and Only. Basically, it is much like the one-op relays, and in the sense that only one tile can be used at a time. So only one operator can be deployed on the map at any given time. So you may have to do that 1P relay all over the map if you feel it's necessary.
And we're offering a lot of risk points for this one, so you can go ahead and deselect certain contracts and give this one a shot if you think you've got the operators to do so.
We got that at 7, right? Or was it 6?
We were at 7 right now.
Okay.
We can. This one, I think, will be a little bit more flexible with, depending on the map too, because just of how the contracts are.
Yeah, but yeah, this is gonna be. If someone could pull this one off, though, it's gonna be awesome to watch. I always love watching those because they're extremely satisfying. Because like the timings are just perfect for everything. The people actually who work on them just manage to pull those off. It's amazing. So, but. That is the main 23. There is a 24th one, but we'll be revealing that one later on. So it's not going to be anything too. I wouldn't say it's anything too like game changing.
No, it's not that big.
Yeah. So it'll be one of the contracts on the last day as kind of a nice little like salute.
Yep.
So, but that is pretty much all there is for the tournament. The EX contracts and everything are there. We've talked a little bit about how we're going to handle the tournament, so hopefully that is every information you have. If you have any other additional questions, feel free to reach out in the comments below, or you could also message myself, or Arm, are you okay if they message you?
Yeah, alright, let's do it.
Alright, yeah, so if you are on my Discord server, Arma is also on it. You can message either of us. We can kind of answer questions if you have any. But I think for the most part, I'll keep an eye on the comment feed. It's not going to be that difficult to respond to peeps here. So, but that should be all the information. So, the first video will be dropping out in the pretty much this evening. So feel free to check that out once it is out, and hope you guys do actually enjoy it. I think, like I said earlier, seeing 11 players play the same map is kind of going to be a nice thing to enjoy.
Especially with different playstyles.
And rosters, for sure. But anyway, that is going to be all for this particular video. Hope that gave you the information you needed. If you don't, if you have a question or two, feel free to reach out to us. But anyway, I'll see you guys. Well, actually, we'll see you guys in the next video when we show the first daily runs. So, see you guys then.